So that's what he said about the receivers. I'm going to keep going. Let's get to the heart of the matter. I'm going to talk about what he says about Mac Jones in a minute. But this was the heart. What he said about Fred Warner. And to me, this is, again, his whole point. Like, guys, we got to let it. Like, Fred's in the past now. I'm so sorry. I know it hurts to say, but he's in the past. He doesn't affect this season. We're 4-2, and we got stuff to do. So he said, I was asked, like, how devastating was it when Fred went down? It's always tough to lose a player like that. He's obviously a terrific player and the best leader I've ever seen. That's what he said.
Yep.
But it was really encouraging and really cool to see all the young guys flying around and stepping up. He immediately went to that. It's so cool to see young guys get their opportunity and to see what they do with it. And then a follow-up question was, okay, well, are you going to deliver the team speech before the game and fill Fred Warner's shoes like that? Because, Fred's been doing that every game for like 7 years. And George, he thinks about it. He goes, yeah, I'll probably do it once. But I think it'd be cool if we spread that around and it wasn't the same person doing it every single week. I think it'd be really cool if Brock did it once. I think it'd be really cool if Mac did it once. I want to hear a Mac Jones pregame pump-up speech. That's what George said. So, again, it's like, I don't know if George and Fred are super close. I mean, I know they've been teammates, but it seems like George has his own perspective in the back of the thing. Like, hey, man, it's Fred again. Heard this spiel before. It's great. It's a great spiel. But how about someone else on this team have a voice? Is that okay? And now they get that. So it's like, yeah, we lost Fred, but there are silver linings here, guys. There's all kind of opportunities for us to grow and be better.
You know what I think, Iggy? I think George Kittle gets it. And it just kind of dawned on me that George has always been like big picture, right? Even this persona that he's chosen to take on, like larger than life, tight end wrestling, very gregarious with the media. And I believe that George is playing the game, the bigger game, the attrition game, the transition game, the understanding that if there's going to be a new regime, if there's going to be a ushering out of bad contracts, if there's going to be guys moved on, I'm going to be in the very next position when we lateral over. And you better get with it. All right. You better wake up and understand that in order for this team to move on and you continue to get paid the way you think you should get paid, is that you got to be a company man. You got to fall in line. I think that George is kind of pushing a little bit outside of what it takes, excuse me, what it takes to be a leader and survive on this team. If you really think about it, George is the guy that him and Kyle have kind of like a love-hate relationship. Kyle only uses him when he absolutely needs him. George makes himself indispensable with what? Effort, run blocking, being pushing the culture of the team. And I think that this is more of George saying, oh, I'm going to really show y'all how to be a pro. I'm going to show you how to be a pro.
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code COHN, COHN, and download the app now. And I think it's also George saying, I'm going to show you guys how I lead. Because for since 2019, 2020, this has been Fred Warner's team. And we've let him give every speech. And he's been great. You know why? Because he's the best. But now I have to do it because Fred's not here anymore. And it's going to be different. It's not going to be me doing a Fred Warner impression and getting all hyped up and being serious like him and doing the pregame speeches. It's going to be me being me, which is empowering everyone, empowering CJ West. He mentions like, he said all these things. He's like, I can learn from CJ West. So-and-so can learn from me. It's not just like I'm the vet and I'm telling you and you listen to me. I don't know if this was a direct commentary on Fred Warner's leadership style, but it sounded like he was saying the way Fred does it is he doesn't really let anyone else have a voice. It's his team. And that's not the way I'm going to do it. And I think that actually is going to be effective for this team because what this team needs is to empower the young guys because we have so many we're relying on. We can't, like Fred can't do it all. We need to empower these young guys and they need to have a freaking voice.
Yeah.
Like that.
if you think about it, uh, if you're honest about where your career stands, you're not just going to try to burn. Some guys, they burn until they get too close to the sun, and then it's just over for them without a plan. And then some guys, they work on their magnum opus. They start figuring out, how do I close this out the right way and become, immortalized. And I think that George, understanding where his body is, where his money is, where he is, where his stance is on the team, he's kind of positioning himself to not only stay around, be valued, but also be one of those 10-year guys that are in the Ring of Fame with the Niners. Like he's putting on like a class act performance of how to be a pro right now.
And it's like he is, and he needs to do it because he's the best player on the team right now. Bosa's out, Warner's out, Brock and Mack are good, but they would do cartwheels if George Kittle told him to. I mean, George Kittle, basically, like if he says jump, the whole team will. He's that important. He said, he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get Brock to do a pregame speech. Oh, hey Brock, guess what you're doing? It's like, that's the quarterback of the team.
Did you see? Didn't you see, like, I think it's when we were doing brick by brick, we don't do it anymore, but it was like a brick by brick or like a sound effects or something where like George had Brock on the sideline. He was like motivating him, like talking him through a drive, like, hey man, just be cool. We're going to get everything together. And I was just like, I've always wondered, number one, if George is really like that on the team, if that's his position. And two, what was Brock thinking? I wonder if Brock was really taking that in, or is just like, dude, if you don't get out of my face.
Yeah. I've always wondered what the relationship is between Warner and Kittle. I'm not trying to start drama here because I'm sure they like each other and respect each other. He said, best leader I've ever seen. But I think they're competitive with each other. I mean, who's the best player on the team? Who's the leader of the team? I've heard Kittle say to Warner in the locker room, yeah, but I'm taller than you. Like they have, I think they go at each other one-on-one in practice. I think they have a rivalry. And I'm not taking sides in the rivalry because Fred Warner's great and he's a future first ballot Hall of Famer. But I just feel like they have different perspectives on the way a team should be led. And I remember last year, this is what tipped me off. Fred Warner said in the locker room, I've been playing on a broken ankle. Just want you guys to know I've been playing on a broken ankle. We went over to George. What do you think of that? And he's like, we're all playing on through stuff. It's not like he's like, yeah, Warner's Superman and I don't know how he does it. It's incredible. It's like, hey, we don't really talk about that in here. So that was my first like, oh, they don't necessarily see eye to eye on everything, even though they respect each other. So I was taken by George Kittle's differing approach to leadership.